So the Lord also speaks through visions. And visions are not dreams. And dreams are not visions. Visions actually happen when you are awake. You don't say I was sleeping, then I had a vision. It doesn't happen that way. It sort of happens when you are awake, but then your mind is carried away. It is as though you are actually asleep. Because the vision comes to you like a glimpse. But in that moment, your conscious mind is not awake. So sort of the supernatural takes over your conscious, deposits the vision, and then you sort of come back to your senses. But then it doesn't mean that you are asleep. You are awake. And God will speak through visions. These are the visions that are very common when you're doing communion. So you think that, I don't know, you sort of passed out, but you didn't actually pass out. God was only trying to communicate. And this is the way God communicates, because we are in a realm that is so far away from His realm that to get information to you, you need to transcend a certain realm. He cannot come and speak to you the way that I'm speaking to you. The visions usually come in form of pictures or objects, or you see yourself carrying things and going to a certain place, or things like that. But it brings out the symbolism of the message. The visions are usually very abstract, that you need the discernment of the Spirit for you. And by the way, there are no bad visions. Okay. Like that is an area that the enemy cannot go to. So you can't have a bad vision, like a bad dream. No, that is an area that the enemy cannot penetrate. So the visions, however obscure to you, they will always be from God. Even when you see that something bad is going to happen, it does not mean that the enemy is going to do something bad. God is communicating something to you. Usually He will give you these visions in terms of because of your position. If you were a watchman, if you are an intercessor, if you are a prophet of God, and the Lord is going to tell you what is going to happen ahead, so that you warn people on what they should do and what they shouldn't do. The visions will always come in that sense. In your own individual life, the visions will come as warnings to you. You see yourself, you go to work, you find someone else, he says this and says this, then there's an exchange of words, and then you say, You see how you will react. And then the vision ends. It's just simple. Change how you're going to react, because you already know what is going to happen. That is what the Lord is telling you. And that is how the visions will be. The Lord speaks through visions in the book of Ezekiel, in the book of Daniel, if you remember. When Daniel says that I saw, or I see. Even John in the book of Revelation is saying I see. A lot of people think that Daniel or John was sleeping, was asleep. No, they were in the spirit. The Bible says, I on this day, I John, I was in the spirit, in the place of fellowship with God, in the place of communion. That is where the visions happen. This is why I ask you to commune with the Lord as a must. As a must. Don't do it when you feel like doing it. Do it with all your life. Every day. So when they say, I saw, or even when I stand here and I tell you that I see, I actually stand here many times on the pulpit, and then I say, I see, this is what is going to happen. But I'm standing there. So what am I seeing? Is it a dream? No. It's a vision. I can stand here and which things should be normal to you already? Now other people are saying banana. they should be normal to you. But the same way I stand here, and if I want to know, okay, so there is a family of a prominent person in Uganda that is going to be, is it kidnapped or abducted? And I hear the name Anne. The other name starts with a B. And okay, so there's a lot of talk about where they are. People cannot find them, and then there are security operatives in the mix, and then they kill the family, and then there's a state of confusion and some sort of war or riots after this. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Otherwise I'll continue. Look, this is something you can do. Even with your own life. If you will still your mind and commune with the Lord, you can access anything that is in the spiritual realm. This is where you come from. Why are you saying you're citizens of heaven when you don't want to go there? Or you want to go there when you're dead? Eh? Some people say, you know what, I want to go to heaven. When you say, okay, we'll kill you. Let's do it quickly for you. They will run away. And then you can say, oh, you're citizen of heaven. You can even dance because you are a citizen of heaven. But then you are afraid to go there. It is open. The door is open. And by the way, people, I'm not telling you this thing because I am a prophet. All of us have the same access. It is the same spirit. This one is grown. This one is matured. It is old. I keep telling some people that I sit with that I'm like 1,000 years old, because there's so many people I look at that who are even like ministers of God, and I'm like, I know what happened to this person when they were little, and they are older than me, so I know, and you know, you can know. We have the same spirit. Use it. Now the problem that I always talk about is that we hear these things and they sound interesting, but I think we say, that thing is for prophet. I will leave it for prophet. For me, I will come and prophet does this for me. No, we are all destined for the same place. Practice. Ezekiel chapter 40 verse 3. All these ones will give you visions. It is like when Ezekiel in chapter 36, he speaks about the valley of dry bones. Everyone has heard this, but that's a vision. Even when he's talking about the potter's house, it is a vision. He says, I'll go down to the potter's house. It doesn't mean he will walk there. He didn't walk there. He didn't get out of his house and then walked there. No. He went there in a vision. You have access. You can stand here and tell us what is happening in the US or whatever it is. All those things happen by vision. The Bible says that then the Spirit of the Lord took him to the valley of dry bones. That movement is not a physical movement. It is a spiritual movement. And it's not a dream. And in any case, so the vision happens, and the conversation happens in the vision, and the answer comes in the vision.
Yeah.
It's like how you do not know what to do about something, and then you ask God, and then He's going to answer you, and then He's going to give you everything else that comes with it. Right? He will tell you, don't give them an answer, or don't do this, or don't involve yourself in it. And then He will sort it. There's always an answer, and it's a simple one. I'm going to go through all the things that we spoke about, and then we'll see what next. We spoke about inner promptings, which is the thing that we call whatever instinct, whatever you think is an instinct, but it's the Spirit of God speaking to you. Or that what we call our guts. That is your guts. And you think it is yours. My gut tells me. You see, you can read in Mark chapter 2, verse 6. You can read in the book of Luke chapter 5. So the Lord will tell you things in your hearts. It is not an audible voice. It's not like you had someone speak to you, but it comes from your spirit. And the Lord will tell you things, but do not engage yourself in that. It will always be about that. It is about discernment, usually. It will tell you this is a good thing for you to do. It will give you that feeling of relief. But that is how the Lord speaks if they are inner promptings. He speaks through his audible voice. Who has heard the audible voice of God? Yeah? Someone said that the Lord shouts. And the Lord shouts. So if you hear the voice from my God, you can run. Like, that's not true. So the voice of the Lord is in two places, in two forms. One is an inner voice. He will speak to you and you will know it is the voice of God, but it will come from within you. And you will know it's not you because it is not your voice, obviously. And then the other one is the audible voice of the Lord. Audible in your natural ears, in that sense. You will also realize that not everyone is going to hear God the way that we are speaking, right? Not all of us will hear God through visions, not all of us will hear God through inner promptings, but all this access is available to all of us. That means if we are alert in our spirits, we can hear God much more. Now there are two things. One is we do not decide how God speaks to us. I think this is a big problem. Some people go to bed and they say, God, you tell me a dream. Tell me through the dream. Because now you want him to tell you through the dream. And this is something that he might already have told you through his word.